This is the Entrepreneur's Roadmap series. So it's either the demystifying marketing challenges. Some of you signed up for that workshop. And what I did is I presented two different workshops. They're the exact same thing, but with a different spin on it. One is from the negative side of things. We know how challenging it is to avoid these mistakes. The other is from the positive side of things. That's Brad Pitt. And here's how you can be successful. I cut my teeth in entrepreneurship as a financial advisor, and I never got a single client by talking about building wealth strategy. I built a clientele, marketing. Here are the top 10 mistakes to avoid in retirement. That's what caught people's attention. Now, somebody at some point is going to ask during this workshop, oh, which way should I do it? Should I lean this way or this way? And this is where I get to share my wisdom with you. Here are the top two answers I give to any small business question. The first one, I don't know. The second one, it depends. And learning that it depends is why we are here today. Now, here is what the entrepreneurial process is. It's managing your 4 resources. You have only 4. And here's the kicker, not all are available at the same time, and all are in finite supply and need to be recharged one way or another at some point, and most often multiple points. Here's what they are. Your time. 168 hours in a week. God bless you if you can work even half of those, but we know that's not sustainable. Financial resources, money. Obviously in finite supply, especially when you're starting up. We have the help of other people. And then finally, your own internal fortitude, your passion, your drive. Will get you coming in early, staying late. I'm going to make a go of this regardless of what it takes. Each of these at some point can become depleted, and you have to recharge those in some way. And really what you're up against, what you are tasked with doing is converting all of those to the financial, because that's what you retire on. That's what you're building your lifestyle on. That's what you pay the mortgage with. It's how you keep the kids in soccer and braces, taekwondo, and whatever else. So we're trying to turn all of these resources into money. We're going to cover quickly calculating your price points and why that is so incredibly important. There's a math element to this. Competitive differentiation. You've got something similar to what everyone else has, so you either make it a little bit better and charge the same amount, or do it the exact same way and charge a little bit less. You're competing on price. Back when Compaq and Dell and HP and all those computer retailers sold basically the exact same thing, little itty bitty differences that got little slivers of the market segment. In a market where you're competing on price, you're trying to sell it a little bit cheaper than the other guys. Same operating system on the same hardware. Cost plus. You add up all your costs, you add tax and a smidgen of profit, and that's what you charge. Doesn't work for all industries, businesses, and products. And then finally, the value proposition. What is your customer's next best option if they don't choose you? So cost plus, here we might have a landscaper, right? I got the manpower that goes into the work that's being done. I got the overhead, the tools, and the scheduling, and the everything else. Add it all together, add a little bit of profit, be able to pay taxes. That's what I charge the customer. Custom wedding cakes. The cost of a custom wedding cake has nothing to do with flour, sugar, eggs, and milk. It's all about the deliverable, and really the deliverable has little to do with the cake itself. What are the bride and groom most want to be assured of on their special day? I'll open it up to the class and I will take random answers.
There.
One more time.
They deliver.
It shows up.
Yeah.
Shows up in one piece. You don't want to get a text. You don't want to get a call an hour before your reception. Hey, yeah, we were on our way and the van hit a pothole. I don't know how to break this to you, but so you're paying for that surety. You're paying for that experience. And yes, the aesthetic and everything else so that everybody oohs and ahs over your wedding cake. It takes a great photo. As a percentage of 100%, how much do you think they actually go for the taste? It's not much. It has everything to do with the other deliverables. You need to decide which is the best pricing model for you and your business and your product or service. Here's why. Oh, and it always has to be able to create a profit. Because you're going to offer incentives and discounts and coupon codes and whatever else. So it always has to be above break even. In absolute rarest of exceptions, would you have a product where you lose money on it? We call those loss leaders. They exist for a reason, but far and away, that is the exception to the rule. Let's look at why. The 80-20 rule. Who's familiar with Pareto's principle that 80% of your production or your profit comes from 20% of what you do? Your business, I will bet you, falls in line somewhere close to this 80-20 rule. 80% of your profit comes from 20% of what you do. You have to know what that 20 is because we want to know what we should market. Now, there's a difference between what is most profitable and what you have to market. When was the last time you saw a commercial for this product right here? Probably, but they fly off the shelves, right? Because everybody needs them, so you don't really have to advertise for it anymore. Bonus question, what is this product called? Not Band-Aid. Adhesive bandages. This is the store brand, but what's this? Gelatin dessert. Jello is the brand name that has become almost synonymous with the product. Never mind the label on the can. If I said, oh my gosh, would you please go to the cooler for me, grab me something carbonated, sweet, and 12 ounces worth. Grab me what do we call this? We call it a soda, but in the Northeast, they call it what? Pop. In the South, they call it Coke, because it's based in Georgia. And sometimes we call it a soft drink. Absolutely. So if you have gotten to the point where your product name is synonymous with the industry that you're in, great. If not, we're here for a reason. Now, where's your actual profit center? If you're selling printers, all-in-one machines, where do you make your money? If you're Canon, Minolta, Brother, and you're selling a scanner, printer, copier, fax, what are you actually making the most money on? The ink. This is called a complementary product. One doesn't work without the other. Can you go buy a bunch of ink and not have a printer? Can you have a printer with no ink? So they will sell you at very slim margins, this all-in-one, just to get it into your home office, small business, kitchen counter, wherever else, because they're going to make most of their profit, 80% on the ink. I don't know what a barrel of oil costs, but I did the math. This is probably 10, 15 years ago. Barrel of oil seems expensive. It's not. When you compare it to movie theater soda, imagine buying movie theater soda, filling up a 50, they're not 55-gallon drums. I think they're 48-gallon drums. That becomes very expensive. Now take these little 1-ounce printer cartridges and drain those into a 48-gallon drum until it's full. That is one of the most expensive liquids on the planet. And that's how those companies get you. Because are they interchangeable? It's like, oh, I have this brand. I can put any printer cartridge in I want to. No, it's very specific. And you become trapped. You become a captive audience with that. Let me back up. What if you're a fast food restaurant? If you're regardless, you can be seafood, you can be burgers, you can be pizza. What is the profit center in that building? The soda fountain, absolutely. Do you think it is out of the grace and generosity of that business that they want to combine burger, fries, and a soda to make it cheaper for you? No, it's because they know that they can add a soda. There's a perceived value. Oh, this would have cost me, close to $2. But now if I buy this value meal or this combo meal, I'm actually, getting a lower price. But it's by using that very low cost soda as an incentive that they are able to do that. You need to find that product or those products inside your business. How profound, not is it yes or no, but how profound are the effects of small incremental changes in price and cost and volume? Let's take a look at an example. We're gonna have a coffee kiosk. This is what we can do in a week. We're at one end of the mall. At $2, we're gonna focus on this middle column. Welcome in, man. Glad you're with us. We're gonna focus on this middle column where we're selling $2 coffee. We sell 2,000 in a week. Our variable cost, this is cost of goods sold for you accounting types, but what goes into each additional product we sell. If we sell one more cup of coffee, this is the cost of the cup, the cost of the hot water. This is the cost of the straw, the lid, the coffee itself. It has nothing to do with overhead or our operating expenses or fixed costs. So our variable costs, it costs $1 to actually produce each new cup of coffee that we want to sell. Our fixed costs are $1,500. This is our lease on the space, insurance, wages, not hourly wages, because those can change, but fixed wages for the management staff, or maybe as a solopreneur, just my wages. So our total cost is $3,500, and we made $500 in profit. Now, the law of supply and demand says that if I increase my price, I'm not going to keep all 2,000 customers. Somebody is going to say, you had me at $2, but if you go to $2.20, I'm going to walk to the other end of the mall and get it again for $2. So we're going to lose some. We're only going to sell 1,900 now. That's a 5% reduction in sales. We're going to have the same variable cost per unit, and we're actually going to spend less because we're selling 100 fewer cups of coffee. Fixed costs remain exactly the same because they are fixed. And we're going to have a total cost of $3,400. So our cost came down, our revenue went up. What happened to our profit for the week? And all we did was change our price. And this works going up and down. Walmart does it on the down. They thrive on volume. They lower their price a little bit. People that would have shopped at Target or Fred Meyer or somewhere else, they come up, they're more price conscious, they come to Walmart. So small moves down, small moves up can actually increase your profit. I'm not worried about your increasing revenue, not worried about you increasing sales. First and foremost, if you've ever heard of metrics or KPI, your key performance indicators, it's how you measure how successful your business is. And it's not page likes, it's not click-through rate, it's not number of whatever, it's profit. Profit is what keeps you in business. I have seen small and large businesses go bankrupt increasing their sales. So we're going to focus on profit. All right. Not assumptions, right? Because assumptions are just a random number generator. We at least want to have some level of forecast, but we want to do as much as we can to calculate how our new marketing campaign is going to affect us. So I'm going to open this up to the room. Are we going to seek new sales or new customers? And I'm not setting you up. There is no definitive right answer, but this is an excellent discussion point. Do we want customers or sales? Why?
Because if you get more customers, then they become repeat customers.
Maybe.
If you drop.
Okay. Custom wedding cakes. Am I looking for repeat customers?
Yeah.
That means,
The divorce rates are pretty high nowadays, so they'll be back.
okay. Do we want, ideally, do we want them back though? Okay. What's another industry where we don't want repeat customers? Brad,
I went sales because I'm doing business to business.
I appreciate that. So the question on the floor is, what other industry or business does not want repeat customers? Why?
You
might have something else on your hands.
Because it's kind of impossible, right?
Yeah.
So we don't always, can't always count on repeat customers, right? But you do have a correct answer. What's another reason though that we would want to target customers versus sales? And you are on the right track. I'm sorry, one more time. Okay, they can create referrals. Now, if I buy a Kit Kat bar, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best Kit Kat bar I've ever had. I'm gonna tell my friends about it. Does that happen? No, no. But there are other products or services that we're going to buy. We're like, holy cow, that was pretty top notch. That's something I'm willing to share with my friends. Now, here's the thing. Word of mouth, referrals, excellent, fabulous, and you should absolutely strive to achieve those. Very challenging, especially in your first 3, 4, 5 years of operation. Here's why. One, you have to have a customer base in order to refer you. Also, your customer is going to enjoy what you do. They're going to thank you. They're going to leave your establishment. And then building your business is not going to crack the top 100 things they're going to do for the rest of the week. It's also usually accompanied by some sort of campaign. You send out emails. Hey, if you refer someone, here's an incentive. You get this free upgrade. You get a coupon. You each get like some sort of buddy bonus. So very rarely it happens, but rarely do you just get, hey, I heard you do a great job at what you do and so referred me. Great, happy to talk with you, serve you. Those happen a lot less frequently than the referrals that come through some sort of campaign. Okay. Now, why would we seek sales, not customers? And then you absolutely did have a point. There is a long-term, we're going to get to that in a second. There's a long-term value to keeping customers and keeping them happy. So I did not
The
want
goal is customers, but the immediate thing is sales, is what you're saying.
Yes and no. I'm going to make that distinction in a minute. I just didn't want to dismiss what you were contributing because I do appreciate that. And then I missed who.
Diversify portfolios, you could have additional sales to take that.
Okay.
Possibly.
All right. Give me an example. Like what industry or business would be like, hey, it's time to sell to you again.
I sell printing and marketing media, so I sold you a sign last week, you liked dealing with me, the great turnaround. Now you want to talk with people with flyers, so they're coming back to you.
Perfect.
For example.
We may not have the capacity for customers, but maybe we do have the capacity for sales. And being able to identify that inside your business is going to be key. This is all the legwork. This is the homework. This is the less than romantic stuff that we have to do to get to marketing. I've had this conversation way too often. Somebody will come to me, Sean, holy cow, real numbers, no lie, real numbers in the last 2 months. I just dropped 15. I just dropped 25. I just dropped $40,000 on the marketing campaign. I didn't see the results I wanted. Holy cow, that sounds rough. Who were you trying to reach? Everybody, duh. That's not the right answer. I promise. There is a customer segment, a demographic of the population, a subset of everybody on this planet more likely to satisfy the 4 key criteria of being a customer than the rest. And we want to pinpoint those people. What are the 4 criteria for being a customer, you ask? Glad somebody brought that up. Here's what you want. This is absolutely worth writing down or committing to memory, however it is you want to do it. They have to need and want what you have. Need and want what you have. I will define the difference here momentarily. Need and want what you have. They have to be willing and able to pay for it. Any box unchecked, we're not trying to get a majority, we're not trying to get to half. Any box unchecked, that person will not be a customer of yours. Here's the distinction between need and want. Want is the general desire. It's Saturday, it's approaching dinner time, my family wants barbecue. The restaurant we choose is who's going to fill the need, the specific pain point or problem that we want to solve. Closest to the house, lowest price, best sauce, has takeout, has a beer garden. For what I get at my house, Dad, who's got the best mac and cheese. So that fills the specific need after satisfying the general want. Need and want what you have, willing and able to pay for it. All 4 boxes must be checked for that person to be a customer of yours. Marketing is about defining the group that is easiest to market to, easiest to find, where we're going to get those people. That'll come up again here in a short little bit. How many do you need? How many new customers? How many new sales are we trying to generate? We need to know that. We need to have a target so that we know how much we need to market. And then this is where you were getting, what is the value of each new sale? What is the long-term value? If I am selling for a car brand, in 5 years, I want that person to come back and buy from me again. I want them to buy the Toyota, I want them to buy the Porsche, I want them to buy the GM from me, or at least from this dealership again. So there is a long-term value to a client, to a customer beyond just the first sale. And then what is the corresponding fair market price? What are you willing to pay to get that sale or customer that has this financial value? I land a new sale, I'm gonna make $1,000. What are you willing to pay for that? 1,100? Any takers at 1,100? 900? 8? 7? It becomes way more better looking the lower the price goes, but here's the challenge. We can do things to affect the price, but not a whole lot. So we have to know how much we're willing to spend to get that new sale or get that new customer, because here it comes. What's HTAM? Someone's gonna see it. It's gonna like pop, and I know what that is. Anyone? What? Math backwards. Let's do the math backwards. Okay. What is your closing ratio? What you are attempting to do is drive a potential customer to a decision point where they say, David, yeah, take my money. Like, do you want a credit card or just a duffel bag full of cash? Like, this is a totally obvious idea. All right. So we want to get them to the decision point where they say yes. For every person that stands here, how many yeses can you get? If we're selling cars, it's about a third, if you're a good salesperson. Every person that stands here is like, okay, we'll do it. 1 out of 3. Okay, let's back it up. What is your lead conversion ratio? How many qualified leads do we need to drive up the 3 people to that decision point? In car sales, in fact, let's do this. Somebody type it or speak it into your phone and ask the question. What is the lead conversion rate for new auto sales? Tell me what you get. What is the qualified lead or the lead conversion rate for new auto sales? Somebody, you can't depend on everyone else. Somebody has to roger up and do this. I'm a patient man.
1,001.
I'm the father to a daughter. I am all about patience.
1,001.
Not 1,001, because we don't have to guess.
So we need conversion.
I'm gonna help you out.
Car rate.
There's more of these coming. There's more of these coming. What is the lead conversion rate in new auto sales?
Okay.
That's what I got.
2 to 10%.
2 to 10%.
Wow.
That means for every 100 qualified leads you have, that is somebody that has responded to your marketing. That is somebody that you have followed up with, sent a questionnaire, survey. You're trying to assess their needs. You're trying to assess their credibility. They're a credible buyer. They're ready to do this. You're not just out there kicking tires. They're a qualified lead. For every 100 of those that you get, 2 to 10 will get to this decision point, which means at your 25 to 30% closing ratio, you're going to get 1 to 2 sales out of that. Let's back it up even further, because what is your marketing channel response rate? Somebody type or speak this into your phone, please. What are typical marketing channel response rates in new auto sales?
It's Siri. What is your marketing channel response rate
In new auto sales?
in auto sales?
I am affording an opportunity for you guys to practice this, so I appreciate you so much, man. Because this is the math that each of you should do to figure out how your marketing is gonna go.
2 to 14.67%.
2 to 14%, okay, depending. Now, that can be blasting out Facebook ads, Google ads, getting off digital and being on bus ads. We're gonna get to different channels here momentarily, but there's lots of different channels, direct mail, direct email, all of those things are different marketing channels with different response rates. Different response rates for different businesses and different industries. One of your challenges in marketing your business is determining what your customer segment is going to best respond to. So think we're between 2 and 14%. Let's split that down the middle and say 7, because that's 15 out of 100. So if we've got, if we had 1,000 people respond, 1,000 people have responded to our marketing. Spoiler, that's not people who saw our marketing. That's people who responded to our marketing. We have 1,000 people, 15%, no, 7%, right? 15 people, we have 150 people who now got to our lead conversion rate. Our lead conversion rate there is between 2 and 10%. Let's split it down the middle again and call it 5, call it 6. 150 people times 6%. What is that? 150 times 0.06. This is an interactive class. I'm going to give you guys a second to do this. What is it? 9. 9 people driven to a decision point. Our closing ratio was 1 in 3. How many sales did we get? 3. What did we say? 1,000? We had 1,000 qualified leads, or we had 1,000 people respond, and we got 3 sales. 0.3%. Now, that's not even your visibility. You've got to get enough people to see it to get 1,000 people to respond. And which is it that you think you pay for? You're not paying for leads. You're not paying for response rate. You're paying for the visibility. Now, if I'm in auto sales and I know that I've got to pay for visibility, either for my salespeople, for my dealership, or I'm the, without spending more time, fortitude, money, or enlisting the help of other people, because those are the 4 things I can spend. What are ways I can take that 1,000 responses and drive it to more than 3 sales? What are things that I can do or improve upon? Yes, sir.
Higher close rate.
How?
Train your salespeople on modern sales techniques and build a rapport, get the guard down, and bring a higher value of your vehicle than anyone else can offer in the neighborhood.
Okay, so get better at sales. All right. Now, if I improve my closing rate from 33% to 50%, and I've got 9 people at a decision point, I don't have 3 sales now. How many do I have? 4 or 5. That is a 33 to 60% increase in sales. Just by improving my sales skills and improving my closing rate. What else can I do? Okay, so between lead conversion and marketing channel response, which of those would that target? Or I guess actually really that's more visibility. You're trying to be in front of the right people. So that response, now you have to pay for fewer ads because they're targeted and you can still program the correct or anticipated response. Okay, yes, sir.
So does that mean out of the channel?
Not your channel, but who it is that you're trying to reach. And I appreciate the question because that's coming up in a minute, I promise. If we improve any of these, it's going to increase our sales. If we increase a little bit each of these, then it's really going to increase our sales. Now, here's the thing. Let's say our target is 3. I'm not selling Camrys. I'm selling Porsche Carreras. And really, if I sell 3 in a month, that is a banner month and my family is living large. I only want 3. So if I improve a little bit, each of these, my visibility, my closing rate, my lead response rate, qualifying leads, if I improve that a little bit, now I have to market less. Now I spend less on marketing. And I have more profit because my costs have come down for creating the same 3 leads or the same 3 sales reps. This is the math that has to go into really understanding your business. And here's the thing. You don't actually have to do this. If you choose to not do it, I have some duct tape here for you. When you leave here, go out to your car. I have enough for everybody. Cover up your instrument panel. Cover your instrument panel so you can't see your gas gauge, you can't see your check engine light, you can't see your speedometer. Because if you wouldn't drive your car like that, why would you run your business the same way? This is not a luxury. The business math to understanding what decisions you should make in your business is paramount. We're here to help. Dominique has resources. I have resources. You can actually meet with me one-on-one and the city helps fund that, which means you don't pay anything. We've got a group advising cohort that's going to launch in February or March. There are resources to help you through these things because this workshop, the 75 minutes we're going to spend together, I promise you, I am not smart enough to put into each of your heads exactly what you need to do to market your business. But at the end of this, you will have relevant, relatable, and some actionable items that you can move forward with and more questions, but at a higher level. I can't answer all of them in this workshop, but I hope to elevate your level of questions so that they go from here to up here, and then we can tackle those. Dominique, you didn't mention it, but I will happily share it now. We've got monthly drop-in hours. It's a co-working and drop-in advising at City Hall. Another resource that the city of Redmond avails to you because they are pinned to your success. They take this seriously. All right. Here's where we get into who we should market to. So we talk about narrowing that focus, right? Narrowing who it is that we're marketing to. So we have to know our customers 2 ways. Demographically, who can give me some examples? What's an example of a demographic identifier that might be part of our customer segment that would be important to us? Okay, location, absolutely. What else? Age or age range, absolutely. What else?
Gender, profession,
Okay, so their gender, the profession that they're in, absolutely. What else? Income level. Okay. There's a long list, long list, I promise. Okay, these are some. This is not an exhaustive list. Pet owner, I have a client right now and they repurpose old climbing ropes into dog leashes. They absolutely want to be able to market to pet owners. I have another client, she opened up 2 years ago now, a dog-friendly coffee shop in Seattle. She absolutely wants to market to pet owners. Little bonus anecdote. Who sleeps on mattresses? Men or women? Both. Who do mattress retailers market to? And there is a definitive right answer here.
Woman,
Why? You are correct, but why?
because and the homemakers on there,
they make the bed.
they make, okay.
Make the decisions.
There we go. They make the decisions. Now, as a couple, they make the decision, but as a single,
She was sandbagging.
a woman is going to find far more value in getting a good night's sleep. This is going to propel me in my career. I'm going to be well rested. I'm going to work my way up the corporate ladder. Guys, we will sleep on anything. A friend's couch, a beanbag chair, an actual bed propped up in a corner. Like we can sleep almost anywhere. So they don't market to us because we don't care. So knowing the difference between your user demographic and your decision-making demographic also key. Who makes the buying decisions for what it is that you're selling? And then finally, psychographics. Anyone familiar with what psychographics are? It's basically how people make their decisions. What is it that moves them onto your supply curve? What makes them want and ultimately need what it is that you have? Who in here? Yes, ma'am.
Question on the mattress example you
Okay.
shared. So the women is the one who's deciding the value, right? Like whether this is mattress that fit my need. But there is a financial aspect of it, which in that couple may or may not lie with the women and it could lie with the men, right? Like, okay, this is a budget. So how do you still, like, how do you define who has the decision making power in that case if it is split across two people in a couple?
So you bring up a good point, and there are some shared decision making across cultures, but it's largely the PBS model, right? PBS, they have very strict ways you can market on PBS because it's a children's channel. But I promise you, their commercials for Frosted Flakes and McDonald's are not geared toward parents. They're geared toward the kid, who then goes and says, Mom, Dad, we need to go get a Happy Meal. Mom, Dad, I want this new sugary cereal. Mom, Dad, I just saw this thing. We need to go to Great Wolf Lodge or Disneyland or whatever it is. So you're still marketing to the person who's going to drive the decision.
So the value, what I'm getting, value based is far more important than the finance based, because once somebody understands the value, there is an emotional connect that can push the finance forward if needed.
Most often, asterisk, foot stomp, probably. Okay, because there are exceptions to every rule. Okay, business is not about getting 100% of everything. You're never going to capture 100% of your market. You're never going to capture 100% of the people who need what you have and want it, because getting all 100 is just going to be too time and resource consuming. We get to that in a second too. We want to get most of them. We want to put ourselves in position for the absolute best chance for a majority of the people who are going to satisfy those 4 criteria to get to the decision point where they say, gosh darn, take my money. Because that is a heck of an ask for a business owner. We see somebody in our customer segment. I see you in the back. You know, you paid the mortgage, you got the kids in soccer and taekwondo, new baseball cleats and whatever else, and you got a little bit of discretionary income left over. Yeah, I want that. I don't just want it. I want to trade you. I want to trade you that, your store of work, however many hours it took for you to save that amount of money. I want to trade that store of work for what I have to offer you. Because I feel that this is going to be enough of an answer to your question or solution to your problem that you will make that trade. And I quote this man a lot. Guy Kawasaki's got a great TEDx called The Art of Innovation. And in it, he says the entrepreneur must do 2 things. The first one comes relatively easy, and that is you have to build something awesome. And that is born of experience, that is born from your career, that is born from passion, that is born from a skill set, from a hobby. And you creating something awesome that you hold dear and value, that's easy, comparatively speaking. The other thing you got to do is tell the world about it, so that enough people that satisfy those 4 criteria are like, yeah, I agree. This is awesome. That's the hard part. Okay. I'm going to wrap up a lot of things about marketing right here, because this is what entrepreneurs do. We see this thing that we've created. It's beautiful, innovative, shiny, precious thing. And it's at home plate on a pedestal right in front of us, takes up our whole field of view, like we're locked onto it because we're where the catcher stands. Look at our beautiful, shiny, innovative, perfect thing. And you know what litters the infield? Our competition. And if anyone wants to say, Sean, I'm the only guy in the room that does it this way, there is competition, I promise you. Indifference, not making a decision. Thinking you need something and being like, I'll wait, is a level and a form of competition. But here's our brand new, shiny, innovative, perfect thing. And in the infield is white noise, clutter, our competition. Inferior. Where do our clients sit in this analogy, do you think? In the outfield seats. Here we go, up to down. Here we go. So from the outfield seats, looking toward home plate at our beautiful, innovative, shiny, brand new, perfect thing, what do our customers see first?
All of them.
All what?
All the options.
Oh, they see the competition first. And from the outfield seats, our customers, we are furthest away. What marketing does, a little bit like Moses and parting the Red Sea, a little bit, okay? For our customer segment, we don't market to the entirety of the stadium. We go real fast in terms of time and money and effort and fortitude. But what we do is we identify, hey, you up there in sections 346 and 348, and you down here along the first baseline, we're going to market to you because you satisfy those 4 criteria to be a customer of ours. So we're going to focus our marketing on you. And a little bit, the messaging that you receive from us is going to move that competition aside just a little bit to give you a clear line of sight to our beautiful, shiny, perfect, fabulous thing, so that you can see it as the solution to your problem, answer to your question that we want to trade you for. If we're marketing all over the place and we're just sloshing that infield and that white noise back and forth, we never create a clear line of sight for anybody. Now, what if somebody from the third baseline or somebody in section 202 says, yeah, but I want to buy that shoe? What do we say? Because we're not marketing to them. But they say, they come to us and say, oh, I'm going to buy what you have. What do we say? Okay, I have more. What else?
Right this way.
Right this way. What else? We're not marketing to them.
That's part of this.
Perfect. Hey, you are exactly the kind of person we want to work with. Tell your friends, we're going to create a fabulous experience for you. How did you learn about us? Now, there are 2 ways that this can go. Right? There's the Nike model. Does Nike sell shoes to shoe collectors? Yes, they do. If a shoe collector says, I want 10 pair of the newest release of LeBron's, Nike will sell them 10 pair of shoes. Does Nike market to shoe collectors? No. Their marketing budget, acumen, talent, manpower, creativity spent on their primary customer segment, the everyday athlete. Everything else is just a bonus. Now, that primary customer segment is 95% of Nike sales. That 5%, not worth pursuing, but will happily make the sale. Now, what if that person represents a demographic greater than 5%? Now we want to find out, how'd you hear about us? How do we create more customers like you? Should we also be marketing to these people over here? There might be a customer segment that values what we have that we didn't unearth originally. Let's not let those slip by. So this engagement, and it comes in a variety of fashion, and that was a very truncated timetable. That whole, we're going to give you a great experience, we want to sell more people like you, how to hear about us, does not happen inside 45 seconds. You create a great experience, you follow some sort of survey, email, or handwritten note, or whatever else, depending upon what business you're in and what your customer expects. But learning directly from the customer is going to be key in expanding and finding new potential markets. But absent of that, we are going to focus on the demographic most likely to become great customers of ours. Sections 346, 348, in the first basin. All right. We have covered a lot in the last 45 minutes. Short pause, short. Is there anything I can answer or clarify? Spend a couple of minutes, let everybody catch up. Is there anything I can answer or clarify on what we've covered so far? Yes, ma'am.
So, is this, to me, it seems like sale bad, but what about if you are in a nonprofit world? How do you answer that?
That's different. So a business and a nonprofit operate very different. Okay? Any questions on this? Now, sometimes I present things so perfectly that there aren't any questions, and this might be one of those days. But if not, now is the time. We're here together, we have this collective brain power here, and we're gonna do some group work here very quickly. Yes, sir, what can I answer for you?
I have a question when you were talking about that.
Okay.
There was the bullet that said, how proponent and from small changes. What was related to price or?
So that was our coffee kiosk example. We can raise price a little bit and actually increase profit. If you're Walmart, we can lower price a little bit, increase volume by bringing competitor shoppers over to us.
But it's always the price.
Not necessarily, you could do the same thing with cost. Bring the cost down a little bit, and on high volume, you're gonna recognize more profit. This change was specific to price, but there are lots of things that you can change. You can keep price exactly the same, keep cost exactly the same, market more, increase sales, and increase your profit that way. So, Cliff, the question was to reiterate this slide right here, specifically this question here at the bottom, how profound are the effects of incremental changes in volume and cost? And it's not just price that you can change. You can change any of those variables, cost, volume by marketing more, volume by marketing less and bringing volume down, controlling cost, and then potentially making more. But it's about how does that small incremental change in one variable reflect in the change in profit? And the change in profit is what we're always pursuing. Not sales, not new customers, not revenue, but changes and increases ideally to profit. All right, so I appreciate the clarification question. Anyone else? Okay, let's keep going. Channels. You're seeing it. This is the whole slide. I tried to warm you up a little bit because this is where we get a little more interactive with things. What are some different marketing channels? And we could talk nonstop for 15 minutes and not have an exhaustive list. So I want to hear some stuff. What are different channels that we can market our business on this week? Which social media channels? It's pretty expansive.
Right there.
I do TikToks, I do Instagram,
Okay, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, what else?
Facebook.
Facebook, what else?
Shopify.
Shopify, what else?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, what else? Reddit, Google Ads,
Flyers.
flyers, what kind of flyers?
Digital, paper.
Oh, digital or paper. How about if you get something in the mail? Let's do this now. Because when I got this in the mail a couple days ago, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a really good example. I'm gonna give everyone a minute at your table, and I'm gonna time it. That's absolutely a timed exercise. On your own, read through this. Now, I'm gonna give you a minute, but count with me. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6. That's it. That is the time you have as somebody who has sent this out to capture someone's attention. So I want you to spend the next minute, and you might love it. You might, oh my gosh, I'm going to hire this person. But spend the next minute and review this. All right, that's our time. What did you learn from this? Now you had a minute. What did you learn in the first 6 seconds? And then tell me what you learned overall. I'm sorry?
Flag is in the back. I see the flag.
You see the flag? Okay. All right, so it might appeal to someone who's especially patriotic. Okay. What else? Yes? Oh my goodness. But I liked it so much. What do you think is horrible about it?
It's chaotic, confusing, They say they do everything clearly, they don't do it well. Their name is kind of hidden. And then they say, it's not right, disregard this looking at it, it's very strange. Don't even see the phone number. Or an email.
Yep. There's a QR code. Does anyone use QR codes? Now, some, okay, fantastic. So I think
They
that's
made a boom
something,
after COVID, they came back, they were
Okay.
dead.
all right? So I think that's something they did well. But you raise an excellent point. One, the font in white is horrendous. Too wordy. You've got 6 seconds and they have to decide, is it junk mail? And am I expecting this? It's like, oh, white envelope, it's got the clear plastic window. Somebody's just sending me a credit card offer. Wait, oh, no, I'm replacing my debit card. I do want to keep this. We're assessing who it's from, who's the return address, what are they selling? You got 6 seconds to capture somebody's attention. This level of reading where it's confusing, not effective. Yes, ma'am. Right, so there was a study done, like the human has a shorter attention span than a goldfish. And that's on a good day. And that's with you ladies bringing the average up, right? Yes, sir?
I was just going to say, wasn't
A lot of words, doesn't say much, and you're still confused about what this person does. Come on, and Dave, I'll come back to you.
Okay, you know, it's a review about the handyman, the services, right?
It's a testimonial, right? Signed by the realtor. I'm assessing a picture of the realtor. Does there seem to be more information about the realtor or about the handyman?
really,
About the realtor, but it's the handyman's marketing, which is even more confusing. Yes,
Yeah,
David?
that's what it's there.
Okay.
Like, what do you sell me handyman services or are you a realtor?
So there's lots of ways to get it wrong. Now, what he got right is he sent it to people in a specified area code, right? I got it. This is the area he's in, and the QR code. That is a short list of things to get right when you're doing a mass marketing campaign. This is not going to be effective. Great for the print shop that he paid to have these done. They did well, but this is not effective marketing.
Got more out of it than the handyman.
I'm probably more motivated to use the realtor than the handyman. Yes, sir, real quick, and then we'll move on.
yeah, the only thing that kind of summarized pops out is thinking of selling or curious about the market value of the home. None of it tells me it's a handyman, it's like it's an assessor, appraisal.
Yep.
It is completely throwing me off. What it says.
And if you're confused about what's being sold, what are the chances you're gonna buy it? 0, right? So again, not effective marketing. What are some other channels? We've hit on a lot of digital ones, and especially social media. And I promise you, there is a customer segment for you that is off of digital marketing. Yes, ma'am, your question, please. Okay, so the Cliff, if you can hear, if you didn't hear the suggestion, it was print newspapers and magazines and other things in print. And I promise you, there's a demographic that still favors that over digital marketing. What else? Come on.
Different shops and walk
Yep.
into a grocery store, there is like, you know, signboards. talking-
Absolutely.
promoting products.
Banners, posters, A-frames, sign spinners. You know how I know when boating season has arrived on Lake Washington? The plane pulling the Geico banner. Right? So there's all sorts of different channels to marketing that we could use. And when I have this conversation with an individual business owner, I encourage them, I go, we're gonna brainstorm 7 non-digital marketing channels, and somewhere in there, you've got a customer segment that is most likely to respond in a non-digital way. Brad has a company that's entirely digital, right? And in the military, we saying, train how you fight, fight how you train. So we want to market how that person is going to be engaged. But I will bet you there are still ways to reach your customer segment off of digital media. And I think we've had a few of those conversations. So we want to keep in mind, all right, if we're trying to engage them this way, then this is how we're going to market to them. But again, there are exceptions everywhere, and there is not a single marketing channel that is going to be your end all be all. Like, oh, this is it. I stumbled upon it. More Google ads, more Facebook ads.
More money.
It is, and regardless if you're spending money or time or whatever else, if you are wasting resources on your marketing, it's going to chip away at that internal fortitude. And that's what makes people walk away from their ambition and their dream, is they just feel drained. And remember all the reasons you are so important as a small business owner. So we are trying to share resources with you so that we can avoid that and help you thrive. All right. Here's where the small group work comes in. We at your table, we're going to compare and contrast either of these two product pairs. We are either going to pick which one you want to do. Either do the two cars. There's a Camry and a Porsche Carrera. Or do custom wedding cakes and chocolate chip cookies. Do either one pair. For one of those pairs, your table is going to answer these questions. Give us some relative price point and product volume. Do we sell a lot? Are we Walmart or Ferrari? Say what you will about Walmart cracking the top 100 best places to work, but for their business model, they excel. Ferrari, same thing. They do one thing and they do it better than anybody. So choose a business model and be great at it. Either one works. Here's what you can't do. You can't go back and forth. You can't be Ferrari one day and luxury and high price. You can't be Walmart the next as a low cost leader. Can't switch back and forth, and you can't jam the two things together. You can't sell luxury items at Walmart volumes. You can't sell Walmart volume or Walmart products at Ferrari markup. Choose one, be great at it. Your customer segment's going to dictate that. Give me two key elements in the customer buying experience. What does the customer need to experience to drive them from, I'm exposed to your marketing, this is your sales channel or sales pipeline. Drive them through response rate, cultivate, get them to their decision-making point. What do they need to experience along the way? For each of the two products in either of the pairs, you're either doing the Toyota or the Porsche, the Toyota and the Porsche, or you're doing the cake or the cookie. Feature, solution, and outcome. A salesperson often will sell features. This truck has four-wheel drive. That's a feature. Solution. The four-wheel drive on this truck will keep you from getting stuck in the snow. The four-wheel drive on this truck will take you up the trail so that you can find that, will help you get your truck up the trail so that you guys can go out on the weekend. The outcome, the 4x4 on this truck will get you to that pristine fishing spot you've been wanting to try out, or that I can recommend for you. Features, solutions, and then finally outcomes. 4 demographic identifiers and 2 psychographic identifiers. That is, all right, who's buying the Camry? Let's describe them. Who's buying the Porsche? Let's describe them. You're going to find both similarities and differences. And then finally, there's no definitively right answer. Set a marketing budget. Okay, I'm the salesperson doing custom wedding cakes. I'm the salesperson for this one-person bakery specializing in chocolate chip cookies. Set a hypothetical marketing budget for a month. Pick 3 to 5 marketing channels and then decide how you're going to spend that money on each of those channels. This is for work at your table. This is a timed exercise. You have got 7 minutes for this. We are at time. Now, I don't mean to deflate anybody's effort, but your answers don't matter. Here's what I mean by that. Here's what I mean by that. This is my marketing plan. Sean, look how it's color coded. Look at how it has all this information. So surely, because I paid real numbers in the last 6 months, I paid $1,200. I paid $4,000 for this marketing plan. So surely it's going to be successful. It's not the plan, it's the process. It's how you got to where you got is the important part. The actual number you got to is not the important part. Here's the lesson inside the lesson. Who answered all 5 questions? You weren't supposed to. I'm interested, what questions did you skip? That's gonna tell us more than what your answers were. So I'm gonna come around the room, we're gonna snake through and I'm gonna ask you, what questions did you not answer?
The solution to the third point,
I'm sorry?
the solution, to
Third.
find the solution to the third point.
Okay, feature, solution and outcome. We didn't get the third one. Okay, miss? Okay. Okay, didn't get to the budget, back to the room,
Budget.
budget.
We didn't do democratic.
Demographic.
That's one, not.
Okay, so also the budget, ladies.
Yeah, no.
Which one did you not get to? The last one?
Same.
Same?
Demographic.
Demographic
And the budget.
and the budget, ladies. The budget. Did you not get to the budget because it was the toughest ask, or did you not get to the budget because it was last? Okay, time. Here's the thing. If I'd given you 4 minutes, or if I'd given you 14 minutes, we might have had similar outcomes. Okay, because the one I heard most was budget. We just didn't have the time to get to it. I also didn't see anybody say, that looks challenging, let's tackle that one first. And then demographics was the next most common answer I heard. But it's one of the most pivotal. It's one of the most pivotal elements to your marketing plan. Now, here's the thing. If we just identified, all right, these were the hard parts. What do you think you should spend a little extra effort on inside your business when it comes to your marketing plan? The hard parts, yes, ma'am?
I wonder if everybody did what we did.
What did you do?
Just go down the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's, because I interpret it differently. This is just last on the list, what you get to.
Okay,
Not that, oh, that's challenging, I don't want to look at that.
okay.
We just went off what was presented, I didn't think through it.
And that's okay, because again, it's about the process, the learning process. It's not about what you wrote down. And it's not really about, oh, I did it wrong, or I did it less than ideally right here. This is the exact spot to do it less than ideally. So that you can go out there and where it really matters. The thriving of your business, you take something from here and do it more perfectly out there. That's why we do this. I appreciate everybody being here. You're gonna have a survey emailed to you. I wish you all absolute success. If there's a way that Kirsten or Dominique or I can play a part in that success, please reach out